Happy Tuesday, July 15th. It's the great Mattsby and Tracker. Good morning, Tracker.
Woo! Good morning, Mattsby. How are you today?
Doing well. Things are looking pretty juicy this morning pre-market, at least for the SPY and the QQQ and the SMH and the Nvidia.
Yep. I was just telling Mattsby and my subscribers yesterday, like, how do you take a bull market and make it feel bearish? And the trick is that every day it sells off, and at the end of the day, you're like, ugh, that's terrible. I don't want this. And then that night, they run it up to the next resistance, and then they sell it off all the next day. So you start every morning higher than the day before, but it sells off during the day during the US market. And there you go. That's how you make a bull market feel bearish.
Yep. And it's very bullish. And now they're selling off some Bitcoin because they want everything else to rally. So it's not so much risk on today. It's more of a tech and semi kind of a day today. So let's get started here with the SPY, and it's kind of doing what I wanted it to do. It's gapping up, right? It was just range bound for a while, and I think yesterday I talked about the previous highs, basically around like the 626 and the around the 626 zone, and we're gapping up above that. So if we can close the day and make a higher high, then perhaps it's just going to continue the journey without any kind of a back test and just go towards the 648. I can see this as the next big resistance point up here. So if price does want to keep gravitating higher, that's fine with me. And at some point there will be a back test, but if it keeps on making higher highs and higher lows, then it's not going to be today. And QQQ, same situation, gapping up. So it is getting above this range that it was in all last week. And now we can see the price is at 559 pre-market. So if this trend continues as well, the next big resistance level can be up here at the 605 zone, right up there, the 2.272 fib. So this is also looking pretty good. There is going to be some resistance before that, though. And the resistance before that is ultimately going to be right. We'll do just a previous high here to a low. And it's going to be right around that 578, right? That's going to be some resistance on the way up. But can it keep melting up before there's any kind of correction? Yeah, of course it can. So if there's continuous higher highs and higher lows, then this can continue higher. IWM, it is up pre-market, but it's just range bound, really. And the range is essentially between, let me just get that to the right. Yeah, it's between the 219 and the 226 right here. So this is looking pretty good for just a consolidation range. But the good thing about the IWM is it's in a new level. It's a new trading range, right? 219, 226. So it graduated from the 618 to the 702. Now it's at the 702 to the 786. So it's not going to get more bullish until price can essentially get back above this 226.74. That's the next goal for IWM. And for Bitcoin here, we can see prices going back for a back test. How low is it going to go? Well, my target is still around that 115,600, 115,500, that kind of a zone for a back test before any kind of price can get to the 128 and the 130 zone above. So normal developments here. Big breakout last week, and it's really normal to have a breakout back test immediately after. So if it does need to go a little bit lower first before higher, I am okay with that. And I think that would actually lead to very good opportunities in the crypto market if you kind of missed a lot of bullish development, right? So breakout back test in progress, perhaps a little bit lower before going higher.
All right. I just want to back up. I keep seeing this in IWM. It's kind of, if you show your IWM chart, this is what I see on my chart. If you flip over to me, I think, yeah. I see this. Oops. It looks like a inverse head and shoulders. So I'm very excited to see this go up to this 141 extension, or is it? It is an extension, I think, 257. Anyway, IWM looks really cool. Let's just check in with the VIX real quick here. Oh, game just went to 158. That's just testing supports, I think, kicking the tires. So the VIX, we are lower today. We were higher yesterday, lower today, and we're still well within. We're below the bottom half of greed and the take profits line. is another 17% below ahead of us. So still very much in the bullish moving up area, despite what your favorite stock did yesterday, overnight, or this morning. And then Bitcoin. Oh, I did a beautiful new Bitcoin chart. Let's look at this Bitcoin chart first. Um, this is really interesting. I took Mattsby's, remember on the show here, he gave us that number 115,500. And right here, you can see is where we got the bullish engulfing candle that went through it. We got a wick that went through it. And then this is the one that actually tested to it and then goes up. So I started a retracement from the zero there. And then here's where it wicks through the top and then back tests a top. So I made that the top of that. So we've got this scale now from 115,512 to 122,807, and the 141 is about 125,827, and the 1618's 127. I'm gonna expect to see that. Oh, so after it couldn't get it went back to the 50% level right here, 50%, and then couldn't get a higher, so it dropped it all the way back down to the 1111. So that's the new. So I'm looking for something that looks like back to the 50. You can't get it to the 38. Maybe to the 786. Back to the 50%, and then we can go on to the 141. We're not using it anymore. And that one too. So there you go. That's you can take that picture. I think Bitcoin's going to do that. And Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Oh, there's in the middle taking a screenshot. No, that's not Tesla. Here we go. 16-hour Tesla chart. Yeah, it's just the same chart I've been having. No changes. I'm still looking for. This is a to 673 by the end of the year, and we're here. So 1 done, 2 done, 3 up here at the 1382 at 673.26. That's actually a different chart than what I've been showing. I don't know why I've got this up and not somewhere else. Well, that's it. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, let me just look through some of these requests. Actually, I'll show the Tesla chart as well before I do jump into some of these. I'll do BT and ONDS. But Tesla, there's really no change for me. It's a bullish chart, right? I'm watching 321.32 the most. I want to see that get reclaimed as a support. But until then, we're in the cloud. So in the cloud, and it's bullish, right? Big breakout back test already completed. Don't really see a reason to go back down to 295 or lower. So there we are. I think 314, 313, that's our support zone for the week. And we got all this up above 320, 321, 323. The baseline conversion line and that fib. So just waiting to break above to get a lot more bullish. But this chart is bullish, right? It's higher lows consistently. It's doing beautiful breakout back tests all the time, and it's just nailing levels and holding. So nothing bearish about this chart anymore, and I think it's ready to try to break resistance pretty soon. So it's a good chart, nothing scary at all. So BTBT. We can see BTBT did get rejected by the weekly cloud up here, did get rejected by the 236 right here. So what happens when price gets rejected? Well, it goes back down to support. And weekly support is where all of this is, right? So be bullish at support, cautious at resistance. You hear me say that all the time, and this is why. You cannot trust these big, giant, explosive moves all the time, especially when they're right at resistance. So 341 is our current resistance point, and now we have weekly support right there around the low threes. So 309, 307, 306, $3. This is our support zone. So if price does go back down there, I think that truly could be the opportunity for BTBT before it really wants to go back higher and break that resistance above. So ONDS here, this one is breaking above the cloud, breaking above some levels, and we'll go to log scale here just to show you this 50% fib, 224. That's what I'm watching. Stay above it, it gets more bullish. That's basically it, right? It has not closed a weekly candle above it since basically earlier this year in January. So if it can get back above it, then that'll be bullish. So close the week on Friday above 224, then it can break above 268, go to the 350s and above. So it wants to be more bullish, then let it prove it to us. It needs to close Friday above 224. And go ahead, tracker.
All right, I've got my Oklo chart. Didn't predict what happened here. Here's my major wave start, wave one, wave two. I was looking for a 764. We got that. Then I was looking for the 382, and we did not get that. Instead, it extended higher to the 100% and back to us to the 618. So you know what? I'm just going to do this. And there you go. That's my new chart. Basically, it back tested the 618. I'm looking for the at least the 1618 next. Since it did the 764, actually, I think the 1764 back to the 123.6, and then we're going to need the 2618 here. 2618 right there. So 157.67 is where I think this thing tops out now, which makes it take a little bit longer, but that's okay. I don't know. I'm messing with all my chart elements. This is all you care about. Get rid of this, this, and this. Oop, not that. But yeah, take your screenshot of that. So I think from here, it's going to go to 111.92, then back test 83.63, and then 157.67 up there. There's Oklo now. And then I'll update it on my spreadsheet. Is OKLL part of? I'm not going to do OKLL. You can trade a 2x ETF based on the underlying chart. MicroStrategy, Doge. I'll let Matt do those. VRTX. Can't remember the last time we looked at this one. Oh, it's the pharmaceutical company. Let's see. I did work on a chart on this. So here we go. These are monthly candlesticks, so it's kind of a slow chart. It's a good chart. This is actually a good chart. This is a bullish long-term chart. I'm calling this the 1-2. So it's headed for, gosh, it kind of did another thing. It didn't really slow down that much. 3, 2. All I can do is show you these fibs and say it's probably going to do something like the 2618 in the future. Or just look back over here. Look at this 2618. It's going to 79 eventually. It's already past the 141, probably according to these fibs, but it's going to reach that target right there. All right, there you go. Oh, and price. Let's see. So if you can hold this. Oh, that's the wrong kind of target. Hang on a second. No, not that one. Sorry, guys. Give me the price stop. 70% higher, but it's going to take it'll be 2020, not 2020, 30. Might as well buy Bitcoin. It'll do much better between now and 2030. All right, back to you, Matt. I'll pick another one off the rack here.
I see. Did you do that LGHL?
I did not. I can if you want me to.
Yeah, I'll just take a look at it. It's basically still a falling knife to me. These I always try to stay away from these kind of charts because there's never been a higher high. It's just lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So it's just a perpetual downtrend. So it's just something that I would always stay away. Like a 363 can be a support, maybe the conversion line, because it hasn't really closed any weekly candles above it in a while, but it did last week. So if that trend continues, then yeah, it can probably go back up to the $5 or the $7 range, but I don't know if it has any more room to go than that. So it's a dangerous looking chart for me. It's basically just gambling, and it's not my style, but it does have potential to go back to that range if it can hold 363. I will take a look at some of the crypto stuff here for MSTR and Ethereum and all that. So MSTR, we can see that it's going back down maybe to retest some previous levels here. Perhaps it wants to go back down towards the previous highs here, right? Maybe that is around 428, maybe 430. Breakout back test before it wants to continue back towards the 542.96. So it looks like a very nice development. I'll be watching the 430 zone as a potential support. And I can even do Ethereum and Doge too while I'm here. And Ethereum, we can see it broke out above the 702. It even broke out above the ARC. And now it looks like it's trying to hold the 2924 as a support. So that's my main focus. Stay above it. It goes higher. Dogecoin, we can see essentially it's back testing the 19-cent zone again for the 50% fib for maybe a breakout back test right here for the potential to stabilize around this price and then go higher. So lots of back tests are happening at higher levels. This is bullish. This is time for prices that people might think they're going to go really far back down for a back test, but I think this might be all we get for a Doge. So it looks like a pretty good opportunity right there. to me. And lastly, I'll do Coinbase just because it's all crypto related. And where is Coinbase really going? Well, 388 pre-market. The main thing I'm focused on is the linear scale fib right here, and this is 384.17, right? High time frame support. So it is also a breakout. Could there be a back test down to 384? Of course there could, but I think it might not need to go much lower than that. This is just looking like an explosive stock now, and it looks like any kind of weakness can be opportunity for the future. Tracker, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. All right, so here's SBet Gaming. I just wanted to give you guys a perspective on this. This really, it's funny. I was looking at this. Looks like this was a .com boom bust stock. 26 years ago, it hit its all-time high in 1999, just before 2000, and ever since then, it's made lower highs and lower lows. Here, it backtests as its own 114, and then sent it back down to smaller and smaller scale 114s, and then we just get to this part. These are monthly candlesticks. Let's go to weekly candlesticks. And so now we're looking at, well, this one right here. This one got exciting, right, in May. And then it went all the way to $123 from like less than $2. And so we're looking for lightning to strike twice again, or well, three times in this case, right? Because it did this back in the .com boom cycle. Let's go to my 16-hour chart now, and we're just looking at this price action here. And look, it already did this 1, 2, my 3, 4. Oh gosh, I hate when it does that. It kind of did the 3, 4 right here, and it's already kind of done the large 5 to the 24.77. So now it's going to do a little retrace to hopefully what will be a higher low, and then it builds itself back up again. So actually, it's time for me to make a new one too. I'm going to get rid of these because we've already done this. I don't want to get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of this and this and this and this and this. I wish there was a select option. I could just draw a thing around this. All right, so pull back. You know what? I do need to just do. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, 1 second. Thought this would be faster. It always happens instantly in my mind, and then like when I have to do it, it's like, wait, I got to do this and that. From this low to this high. Let's get rid of that one. All right, so look, the good news is from this low back to the high 124.12 that we hit, we've gotten past the 1111. I used to call this the 114 mini boss. We're above it now. So don't be surprised if it back tests it to 2068 and then heads on to the 236 and the 382. And then you can see a 382, 236, 1236. So here, let me draw that. Let's see. Let's just do it like this. So from here, we got this high. It should back test the 1111. Then it's going to kind of try to get up over the top of the 236. Then finally it's 382, 236, and then 1236, which is not on this chart for some reason. Full right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, because it's retracements. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. Anyway. Oh gosh, I should just do it this way. So it back tests to there. Oh, it doesn't kind of go that way. Well, anyway, just watch for this. It's going to go to 172.30 in my estimation eventually, which is another. Let's see, it's not 1,000 anymore. Now it is a mere 619% higher from where prices right now. So yeah, I like SBet. It's actually my current largest holding, I think. And we're just gonna, we're gonna tame the lightning and then get out right before we get any kind of collapse at the end of the year. All right, back to you, Matt. That was SBet. It only took me like 7 minutes to do.
Yeah, I thought you already had a chart with that one. What's going on there?
I did, but the chart I looked at, it's like, oh, we're done with this chart. It did it already.
It did it already. All right, let's continue down the list here. We'll do some BABA and some BBAI. So here we go. And my BABA chart here, it's just gapping up this pre-market here, up a nice 6.48 points, and support held, guys. Breakout back test back in April, completed. Breakout back test of the 50-week moving average last week, completed. I actually bought more at the 106 level last week. Shared it to my Patreon tier 4 people. That was a good trade so far, because now price is going up to the 114.72, and it is going up. Oh, sorry, it's going up to the baseline and conversion line right here, the 114.89, 116.43. But the thing I'm watching the most is going to be this log-based fib right here at 111.29, and just reclaiming that is the most important thing. So stay above 111.29, and this chart will get a lot more bullish. And BBAI, I do have a chart for that one too, and just stuck in the range between these two fibs. Right, there's really no excitement for this chart right yet, but it did break out of this range like a month ago. Big bullish engulfing candle straight up through the 599 and the 791. So that's our new range. So the closer it gets to the 791, the more cautious I'll get, because it's been proving that it's a powerful resistance right now, and it can't break above. So until it can really prove it wants to close above again, it's just range bound. And the range is basically the low sixes to the high sevens. That is the range for BBAI.
All right, I do have RKT Rocket Companies here, and it is already drawn this time. I was just looking for an ABC retrace, right, from this candlestick up here. Why are you... Why does it feel like everything moved here? Okay, it's more like a 702 that's going back to. Let's see. But anyway, A, B is done, and the C wave goes up to, I'm predicting, about $35. Now it's actually $33.81 for some reason. No, go away. I can't read. Anyway, here you go. Just $33.81, about $35, maybe $34.83. But there you go. That's about 152% higher from where price is now. So, and after the ABC, it'll get like an ABC down, and then that whole thing can be a 1-2 that I can do, something like 1, maybe 2, and then I keep getting that by accident. And then this goes to the 2382, be like $92 after that. All right, so builds back better. And then what that would be, that'd be like 570% higher from where price is now. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at, let's see, what is next? Oh, I see Uber. Yeah, I'll do an Uber chart here. So here's Uber. It's just really in a big range right now, trying to get a lot more bullish, which it is. It already broke above the ARC, broke above the 1.272 fib, the 8803, and it looks like it can continue the journey higher. So we're going to be looking at the 1.414 next, 103.93. Does it need a retrace first back down to the low 90s or high 80s? That's always a possibility, but never a guarantee. So it's a big breakout, no back test yet, which is possible. But either way, back test or not, I think it's going to continue the journey to the 103.93 up top. So looks better and better. And I do also see a YINN. I think I charted this one a long time ago. And yeah, I had an arrow way back here. So this is looking like it's going to go higher, right? It's back above the cloud, back above all the indicators. It's not making any higher high just yet. But the important thing with this one is what we can do is maybe just do a fib from the last cycle here, from the high to the low, and just show that there is stability above this 236, right? There is stability above the 33.35. I think that's important. But more importantly, it's back on top of the cloud, and it looks like it wants to continue the journey higher. So if it starts to accelerate to the upside, there's lots of room to go, right? There's lots of room up here because the next major zone is 58.63. 58.11, this 200-week moving average. So it looks like it does have that potential to get more bullish.
All right, I've got Oscar Health chart here to the rescue. The all-time low in 2023 was $2.05, or at least that was the most significant low. And then my 1-2 goes to, well, this is the 1 and this is the 2, back to 1120. And then it's on its way to the 764 at 2781. But just on the way there, it's doing a lot of oscillation. These are 16-hour candlesticks. And, excuse me, it did test all the way back down. It went back through the moving average 300, which is this thin orange line here, back to the 75 and wicked down through it. And I was afraid it was going to go all the way up to 11.4, but it didn't. The 236 is holding. It hasn't touched it yet. So in fact, this very morning, if they decide to do a sell-off day today again, it might touch 1393, but if it does, it should just be a momentary wick and then back up again. Or maybe that's all we got was yesterday. Anyway, this should eventually go back to 2781. Yeah, that's it. So from where price is now, yeah, like a good 85% higher. And that's just the wave 1. The wave 2 pullback is to 1950-ish. And then, if you got the patience, this thing will go, let's see, where price is now, 177% higher, followed by about 320% higher to the wave 5 top. And that's just all wonky here. Anyway, that's all I got to say about Oscar. You're fine. This is a buying opportunity here, I would say. Not financial advice. Yeah, sorry, my microphone cuts out whenever I reload a new chart, or my laptop has to do some calculation, it looks like.
All right.
Oh, SCRV. I could do SCRV. Unless Matt wants to cut in. Which
Yeah,
is fine.
I was going to do NVIDIA, and since it's kind of gapping up, we haven't even talked about it yet.
Oh, yeah.
NVIDIA, AMD.
I want to see NVIDIA.
Yeah, so here's my high time frame chart. So it just keeps on powering through. And the sign was there, right? Breaking into all-time highs, flipping this 2.272 to a support. Already did a breakout, already did a back test. So that's why you're seeing the continuation higher. And I think no matter if it needs another back test or not, the way it's going to go is just higher. It looks like it's going to go to the 200s, right? The next stop could really be maybe this arc up here in the future, maybe the low 200s, and then the 2.618, 227.99. So NVIDIA, it was really bullish. Huge liquidity V bottom grab right at the 100-week moving average, and ever since then, it's just been a very, very powerful stock. And I think it is still going to be powerful and continue to the 200. So it looks beautiful, but I do not chase. I do not like to chase. The opportunities were plentiful on all of these back tests. And even after the breakouts, they still back tested levels before they continued higher. AMD, same kind of situation here. It's gapping up above the 618, the 149.93. That's all I care about the most. Stay above it. It gets a lot more bullish, right? It has not seen a weekly candle close above that 149 cents right here back in October of last year. So this is a big deal to reclaim that. And reclaiming that would mean price could easily start to accelerate to the 164.30. So this chart is getting a lot more bullish very quickly. And it's actually being a lot quicker than I have ever anticipated too, because it just cut through all this big resistance very easily. So that's it. Stay above 149.93. This chart will get more bullish. Tracker, back to you.
All right, here's a look at my NVIDIA chart. I just want to share it too, because you guys asked me right here on this show back here on June 16th where was going to go next. And I drew these two arrows for you. One either down to 119.73 or one up to 174.34. And guess what? We didn't do this. So just look out today. 174.34 could be a resistance point today. That could be where it's rushing to. It might just touch that in the regular session and start to retrace back to this 16-hour Ichimoku conversion line. Now, overall, now just because it's gapping up like this, I'm starting to think instead of 618.236, the flavor of the year now has been 618.382. It could also do 764.50. In other words, we could see this where it goes 174.30, or it could go to 195.21, 157.47, which I'm kind of leaning on now, to be honest. And then, Matt, do you remember when we had that show? It was you and me and Kat, the Triumvirate show, and I talked about NVIDIA going to 400. Well, there you go. The 2236 with my chart would take it to 405.61. There it is. There's the 400 here in Elliott wave form. All right. It's 9 o'clock. Back to you, Matt. I just want to show my NVIDIA chart.
Okay, actually, I wanted to.
I guess I
It's
could
not
do
a.
AMD.
I don't know if it's a request or not, but I actually
Yeah.
wanted to show Palantir because it broke into all-time highs here. So let's just take a look at that. And Palantir, we can see that it's really trying to break this 3.618 linear scale fib. It's never done it before. So if it closes this week on Friday above 147.31, then it really could start a powerful trend to go much higher, even to the 170s, right? And 171.46 could be next, but before that would be the 157.62. So I think it's on its way to the 1.618. I think it's on for the log-based 1.618. I think it's there. So stay above 147. Palantir goes higher. Also, I wanted to see Hood. There's a request for that too. And Hood on my weekly chart is actually getting a lot more bullish too. It's back inside the arcs. It did close the week above last week, and this week it's still inside. So the top of that arc is around 106, 107. So that's going to be the zone of resistance. And once this arc really gets flipped to support, then it's going to go higher. But right now it's just range bound, and the bottom of the arc here is around 94. So we're in a range that price can just stay in this zone until it's really ready to break out. So very beautiful chart. It's also doing what Palantir did before, just keep on going straight up without any major pullbacks. But at some point, there will be a major pullback. But since it just broke into all-time highs, it's just trying to continue the journey higher. So all I'm really watching is staying above the $94 zone for Robinhood.
We'll probably talk about this tonight on the show too, but I want to share my Palantir chart since I just redrew it this morning. So I've given up on the idea of a Palantir pulling back in any significant way right now. I think it's going to go to 157.91. Then it gets the pullback to the retest the 100% right here at 125.41. Then it goes on to 199, back to 174.88, and then to this 2618 up here at 318.74. These are all just fib retracement levels with extensions built into them. The all-time low of $5.92 to this $125.41 high right here. And so you went back and retested the 50% level, and then it took off from there. So there you go. I like it for the 1618 and the 2618. All right. Oh, gosh. 903. What do you want to do, Matt? You got another one that you want to do? Or I can do one more.
Yeah, I can do one more first. Let's see here. Oh yeah, GAME. I'll do that one for my last one here. I think I did it maybe yesterday or the day before. I don't know.
Or I want to see your game chart.
Or last week. So Game Square Holdings, it's a breakout, right? It broke out of the cloud, and it's looking for a potential to maybe even do a back test here. So I'll be watching this top of the cloud as a potential back test right there, 145, or even down towards the 100-week moving average at 124 would be fine. But this is a big trend reversal here, simply for the fact that it's never been really above the cloud except for the short time back in 2021. But this has been in a perpetual downtrend until recently. So this is looking like it has potential to continue the journey higher. So I will be watching this 140 to 120 zone as a potential support. If that can hold, then price can continue the journey much, much, much higher. So with that, go ahead, Tracker, take us out.
I'm going to take us out with my view on Game Square Holdings, GAME. I think I'm just looking at my chart right here, and in addition to cautioning the top of the Ichimoku cloud, I'm going to caution that it didn't really. This is like a bullish engulfing candle that might need to backtest this 1114 or my 11111. So it could pull back as deep as 119 to make everyone just say, "Oh, it's a trash stock again," and never want to touch it again. Yeah, and then go higher. So what I was hoping it would do is hold. Well, yeah, right. Maybe this 382 right here, 382 141 is just inside the weekly Ichimoku cloud here. So look for 141 to hold. If it loses 141, Then it opens the trap door to 121, 106. No. Actually, it should be 141, 121, or this 119 right here. But from there, it has a bright future to go much higher. So just hang on to your shorts. And with that, it is Tuesday. We are doing a Triumvirate show tonight. Kat and the Matt and me, and I'm very excited and happy to do that. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Woohoo!
We will see you guys there. Woohoo!
Yeah, see you guys there. Have a great day and enjoy the bull trend to continue. Yes, so see you guys tonight.
Yep. Bye, Matt.
Bye, guys.
See you then.